Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello everyone, welcome back to Grammar for Academic Purpose, Grammar for Academic Discourse, I mean. So today I'm going to explain about the Toefl for a bit because for your information that in our course, actually this semester we're going to analyze the error analysis in the Toefl. Accordingly, before we practice on how to exercise or how to do an exercise, an error analysis on the Toefl, I will give you a bit an overview about what Toefl is in general. So at least you have something in your mind what Toefl is before we discuss about the structure in the Toefl. Jadi Anda akan ada gambaran lah setidaknya ya, sekilas tentang Toefl itu apa before we begin analyzing the error analysis on Toefl. So, I picked the first slide. This is the tips to get a higher score on Toefl from one of the English lecturers in Department of Language and Cultural Studies, Faculty of Cultural Studies, Brawijaya University. So why I'm picking this slide or the PowerPoint for your to be your reference or for your reference, because I think Pak Zahiruddin PhD is one of the experts to talk, and once I was there in his seminar about the Toefl, so I think he is the best go-to person if you want to talk about the Toefl test. That's why we're going to use this slide or the PowerPoint as the reference. Yeah, so check it out. So Toefl is, it stands for Test of English as a Foreign Language, and it is the well recognized as international standardized test system. So I think everyone is popular or familiar with this term, and it is not something new for us. So the problem is that people need to know the tricks and the tips or the strategy on how to work on Toefl, and a lot of people are questioning why my Toefl score is not high, or why don't I get a high score in the Toefl? Why cannot I get a high score in the Toefl? So it's because they don't know the tricks or the tips. So why should it be Toefl? Kenapa harus Toefl sih? So there are some purposes of why people need to take a Toefl test. The first one is to get accepted in academic program, master, doctoral degree, or even bachelor degree, or even right now, students in senior high school, they begin joining a Toefl test to measure their basic ability in English especially, or usually they take like a tweak before Toefl. Jadi untuk bisa diterima di program-program seperti if for example you want to continue your study to master degree, or if you want to pass or graduate from the bachelor degree like in our university State Islamic Institute of Kediri in IAIN Kediri. Jadi setelah Anda skripsi, if you want to pass or to get a certificate of the bachelor degree, Anda harus lulus dulu tes Toefl. That's why it's very important. And then the second is to enhance career in the workplace. So it deals with the career. If you want to get a work, if you want to get a job, you need to take a Toefl test if your work or your job is related to academic setting. Yeah. And the last one is, it can be for the teacher certification. Like people right now are so eager to take a Toefl is because they need a certificate, and that certificate is really important to get accepted in a school or to get a work. That's the Toefl. Next, I'm going to talk about the TOEFL test types. So there are jenis-jenis tes TOEFL ya. There are some. The first is paper TOEFL test. So if you work on the TOEFL in the paper, and then the second is computer test. If you do an exercise of TOEFL on a computer, or we also have IBT, internet-based test. If you work the TOEFL test on the internet. So PBT, paper-based test, itu mengerjakannya di kertas yang biasanya skornya adalah paling tinggi skor PBT atau paper test itu 677, iya 677, dan paling sedikit it's around 300. Kemudian untuk yang CBT, computer based test, tertinggi adalah 300, paling rendah around 40. Yeah, that's it. And different institution might offer different standard of the TOEFL test. Like when you want to apply a job internationally or abroad, the score should be high, like more than 600, lebih dari 600 kalau untuk international thing ya. Or if you want to apply for the master degree, master program, ya tergantung juga institusinya. Kalau in our institution, in IAIN Kediri, ada PBT, ada paper based test, kemudian CBT juga ada computer based test on the language center di LBB, Pusat Lembaga Bahasa ya. That's it. For students who want to register to have a TOEFL test, you need to prepare beforehand. That's why we have a TOEFL preparation, to measure your basic ability and to get to know your score on the TOEFL preparation test. So I'm going to directly pick up one of the part of the TOEFL test that's structure that is based on our class or our course this semester, that is grammar for academic discourse. So in TOEFL test, untuk pengerjaan structure itu waktunya only 25 minutes. So you need to save your time efficiently to work on the structure on a TOEFL test, ya. So check it out. Untuk tipe-tipe soal di dalam structure on the TOEFL, there are structure test types, ada dua ya. The first one is structure question 1 to 15. Biasanya soalnya nomor 1 sampai 15 itu terdiri dari incomplete sentence. Jadi soal-soal yang rumpang seperti itu, and you need to find out the complete one. And then the second one is written expression. Soal nomor 16 sampai 40 itu biasanya terdiri dari error recognition. So you need to find the mistake of the error between the 4 choices. Kemudian dijawab yang benar yang mana. That's it. Jenis-jenis soalnya. Now, I'm going to talk about the strategies. Why does strategy become very important in working on the TOEFL test? Karena biasanya a lot of people are confused to answer the question. Kemudian the time is limited. It's only 25 minutes. So that's why you need the strategy. Jadi strategi itu penting sekali untuk saving time biar efisien, to keep your focus, and then to choose the best answer as well. So please look at the slide. The first strategy is be familiar with the direction. So before you read the question or you work on the TOEFL of the structure, please understand the instruction or the direction. Dipahami dulu instruksinya biar tidak salah. Kan it will be very useless kalau sudah terlanjur mengerjakan. Biasanya people ignore the instruction, they don't pay attention on the instruction very well, kemudian langsung mengerjakan soal, ternyata salah karena tidak dibaca dulu instruksinya. That's why you need to be familiar with the direction. Yeah. And the second is Begin with 1 through 15 and continue with 16 through 40. Jadi yang dikerjakan dari soal yang pertama dulu, nomor 1, 2, sampai 15, yaitu incomplete sentence. Kemudian baru 16 sampai 40 data error recognition. Karena itu level of difficulty-nya sudah di-arrange based on the level of the difficulty from easy to the complex items. Yang biasanya the most challenging one atau soal yang paling sulit atau the most challenging paling menantang itu antara nomor 11 sampai 15 dan 36 to 40 around those numbers. So you need to focus more on the most challenging questions, yeah? And number 3, the strategy is study the sentence. So before you find the error recognition or before you are able to complete the incomplete sentence, you need to understand very well about the sentence, referring to not only the grammar but also the contextual meaning or the discourse. Jadi yang diperhatikan tidak hanya grammarnya tetapi juga contextual meaningnya, utamanya discourse-nya. That's why our course this semester is Grammar for Academic Discourse. So you cannot directly read the sentence and then go jumping into the conclusion or picking the answer without considering what kind of the grammar or structure that the sentence used or what kind of the context meaning inside the discourse. Jadi harus di-analyze dulu. And then strategi nomor 4 adalah study each answer option and on how well it completes the sentences. Ini bisa berupa meaning. If you want to complete the sentences, you need to study each answer, ya. Jadi masing-masing dari pilihan jawabannya itu ditelaah. Kira-kira cocok nggak sih jawaban A, B, C, D, E ini untuk melengkapi soal yang rumpang? It takes time, of course, to study each answer since each question has 5 answers, but you need to think fast and consider some points before directly choose the best one. So you need to save money. No, money. You need to save the time, of course. Don't waste your time on studying each answer for too long, yeah? You just need to grasp for a bit and you go on to the next strategies. The last one is guess the complete sentence. So after all, ya, kemudian baru dijawab, choose the best answer. So I'm going to summarize. The first one is read the instruction. Dibaca dulu instruksinya, kemudian dijawab soalnya, bukan dijawab, tapi dibaca soalnya 1-15 dan seterusnya. Kemudian ditelaah grammarnya dan juga contextual meaning atau discourse-nya. Kemudian yang keempat, dilihat pilihannya, kira-kira pas nggak satu persatu itu. Dan terakhir adalah choose the best answer. That's the order of strategies. So these five strategies are arranged in a good order. So I believe that it works for all people, for all of us. But then if we skip one off, it might happen, but you need to be very smart and again saving the time, so you can just like go very quickly or do very quickly, but still with considering these 5 points. That's it. So part of the structure are in grammatical points that are commonly discussed in the Toefl test are yang biasanya muncul dalam soal-soal structure dalam Toefl itu yang pertama adalah part of speech. That's a very common basic one. Part of speech, yeah, I believe that you have already studied this before this semester, like in IC class, in a grammar daily conversation or grammar media discourse as well. So we have noun, pronoun, preposition, verb, kemudian adjective, adverb, conjunction, article, determiner. Yang di setiap part of speech itu bisa dijabarkan specifically, like verb. There are regular, irregular verb, transitive, intransitive verb. Kemudian adverb, ada banyak jenisnya. Adverb of time, manner, frequency, adverb of place, etc. That's the first is about a part of speech. And then the second one is countable and uncountable noun. So it is a part of the noun, countable and uncountable. Kemudian regular, irregular, tadi sudah. Model, it can be will, would, shall, should, might, cows, yang followed by the base verb or base form of the verb, or also about the similarity of the model, like will is be able to, etc. Yang itu semuanya dikemas dalam soal, yang soalnya itu fokusnya ke subject verb agreement. Jadi subject verb agreement is a kind of sentence yang di situ antara subject dan verbnya harus menyesuaikan. For example, if the subject is a plural, then the verb should be like what? If the subject is single, verbnya harus bagaimana? Itu namanya subject verb agreement. I'll give you an example. John blah 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 to school every day. John is singular is because John is only one person mentioned in a sentence. Yeah, so there are 5 options. For example, go, goes, went, is going, are going. Nah, verbnya itu menyesuaikan, agreement, jadi menyesuaikan karena that's every day, maka tensesnya adalah simple present, so it should use present form. That's why the best answer is goes to school every day. John goes to school every day. That's the basic topic that you learn in the first semester IC class, yeah? So just an overview or slide review in general. That's salah satu soal yang akan keluar di dalam structure on Toefl test. The second is related to adjective and adverb. Usually there is a sentence, kemudian disuruh milih kira-kira yang belum ada di dalam kalimat itu tuh adjektifnya or adverbnya. Yang dibutuhkan dalam kalimat itu adjektifnya or adverbnya. So, adjective itu describes nouns and pronouns. Kuncinya adalah atau strategi mengerjakannya adalah dilihat. Kalau adjective, it describes nouns or pronouns. Kalau adverb, yang dideskripsikan adalah verbnya atau adjektifnya. Seperti itu. Jadi di dalam kalimat itu yang tidak ada apa? Misalkan yang tidak ada adjektif, ya berarti yang harus dipilih adjektif. Atau di situ sesudah verb, maka yang dipilih adalah adverbnya. So it's between beautiful or beautifully. If it is adjective, it should be beautiful. If it is adverb needed, it should be beautifully. Hard or hardly? Hard, karena tidak ada hardly. Good or goodly? The best. If it deals with the adverb. Good if it deals with the adjective. Tidak ada goodly, ya. Fast or fastly? Fast can be both for adjective and adverb. She runs fast. So it really depends on what kind of part of speech does the sentence need. Yeah, and this is a bit explanation about the hardly. So some people might find the word hardly. Kalau pakai hardly boleh, tetapi hardly-nya di depan, and then after that is verb. I'll give you an example. Yang adverb ya, kalau pakai hard, she works hard. She works very hard. Tapi kalau mau pakai hardly, maka hardly-nya berada di depan. She hardly worked. That might be work. That might work. Depending on the context. That's between adjective and adverb. So when there is a sentence like she is a blah 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 woman, Kira-kira she is a beautiful or she is a beautifully woman. Di analisisnya is not only on the meaning or the context ya, karena you do not always catch the idea or the meaning because English is the foreign language. You might not understand some of the words and that will be your problem. Jadi kalau analisisnya berdasarkan makna, itu problemnya adalah kalau Anda tidak tahu maknanya, maka Anda akan bingung. Tapi kalau analisisnya berdasarkan part of speech, itu bisa langsung dianalisis grammarnya. Jadi kayak she is a blah 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 woman. Woman is a noun. Diingat-ingat, sebelum noun, part of speech apa yang bisa menjelaskan noun? That's only adjective. Maka yang dibutuhkan adalah adjective. She is a beautiful woman. That's another example. She sings blah blah blah. She sings beautiful or she sings beautifully. Sings is a verb. Maka yang bisa menjelaskan verb adalah that's only adverb. That's why the sentence needs adverb. She sings beautifully. No, she sings beautiful. That's it. So, di dalam agreement subject verb, itu yang harus diingat adalah the rule of the consistency. Jadi, rule-nya harus konsisten. If the singular subjects need singular verbs, plural subjects need plural verbs. Kalau subjeknya singular, verbnya harus singular. Kalau subjeknya plural, verbnya harus plural. Look at the slide. There is a sentence which is incorrect. He always do a very good job. The sentence is incorrect. It's because the subject is singular, but the verb is plural. Remember that the rule say that if the subject is singular, the verb should be singular. So it's not he always do a very good job, but he always does a very good job. So the correct one is the second one or the second sentence. And next is Sally and Vladimir is going to the movies. It's because there is a conjunction and means that the subject is plural because more than one person. Sally is the first person and Vladimir is the second one. Kalau dijadikan pronoun, kata ganti itu jadinya adalah mereka karena lebih dari satu. And that's mereka is plural subject. And if the subject is plural, the verb needs a plural one. So the verb is not is but are going to. So this is the basic one, I think. That's about the theory of a subject-verb agreement. One of the most challenging parts in the subject and verb agreements is when we meet the verbs that are troublesome. So we call it the troublesome verbs, and the verbs which are almost the same or that similar, yang biasanya bikin membingungkan, jadi memusingkan, membingungkan. Like for example, berbohong dan berbaring, lie and lay. The spelling and the meaning are totally different, but sometimes people are confused. Apalagi kalau disuruh think on the fast time, kemudian on a rush hour, on a quick time, biasanya bingung. So lie is to rest or recline, and lay is to put or place something. That's a bohong dan berbaring. Don't lie to me or lay the books down on the table. That's quite different. The meaning is very different. And another one is another common troublesome verbs. Ada sit and sat. Sit is to rest. Yeah. When you say I sit, please sit down, duduk. Or sat is to put at a place, mengatur atau to set. For example, he sets the books on the table in the corner. Mengatur buku-bukunya di atas meja. And another common one is rise and raise. Rise is to go up. Yeah, raise is to move something up. The example is the sun rises at 4:30. Kalau yang untuk raise is I was raised in the United States when I was a child, misalkan dibesarkan di USA ketika kecil. That's the examples of the troublesome verbs. So when you work on the Toefl, on the structure, and then you find troublesome verbs, you need to really pay attention carefully to analyze the context meaning. That's it, the strategy. So that's an overview about the Toefl in general, and also an overview about the structure, the kind of the structure, and the strategies on how to work on the Toefl, especially on the structure. I also give a glance overview about a part of speech, subject of agreement, and I think that's all for today. Thank you for listening. Bye bye.